This is my review of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Okay, so this is the final episode of the High Priestess arc, and it is fascinating because, well, High Priestess kind of has a few tricks up its sleeve that you don't apparently see all that often. But what's interesting about High Priestess is how it works, at least according to Midler. But well, more on that in a minute. So with High Priestess presumably locked in a room and unable to get out, Joseph and company proceed to get ready to deep sea dive to get out of the submarine where High Priestess is unable to affect them. Unfortunately, before they can actually get out, prior to making preparations, High Priestess actually does manage to shapeshift into Polnareff's breathing apparatus, and then proceeds to cram itself down Polnareff's throat. And only through the combined efforts of Kakyoin and Joseph are they able to actually get it out using their respective stands. They are able to force it out of his throat before it can cause any real damage, but then it shapeshifts into a spear gun and it begins attacking them that way. And they're only just able to fend it off as they escape through the hatch on the submarine and proceed to swim toward the shore so that they can get out easily. But on their way there, they're still on guard because they know that High Priestess can transform into anything metal or mineral related. So they're on guard because they believe that she can actually pursue them as part of their equipment. But things don't work out that way. So eventually they do get close to the shore and even find a sea cave, but realize too late that it's actually High Priestess's nostrils, and High Priestess is actually shapeshifted into part of the seafloor and begins to suck them inside. At which point Midler starts speaking to them through the stand, pointing out that they're not going to be able to escape, and even gloats, pointing out that they should have seen this coming. She points it out that they really should have seen this coming, and they're kind of a little bit slow. She points out that it makes sense that it would be able to transform into the seabed, since High Priestess is able to turn into any sort of mineral, and the seabed counts as being made of minerals. But Midler also expresses remorse for having to kill Jotaro, because she points out that she kind of does feel like that he is her type, and that if things were different, he and she would probably have gotten together. At which point the group starts feeding compliments to Midler at Polnareff's request, and that doesn't exactly work out. She quickly realizes that they're trying to butter her up, and begins to try and swallow them all with High Priestess. But yeah, Jotaro in the process tries to fight back against High Priestess's now massive tongue, but gets knocked into the teeth instead and is presumably crushed to death. Except that not, because it's revealed 5 seconds later that he actually managed to burrow inside the teeth and begins breaking a way out. And then proceeds to break all of her teeth, and then the group swims to the surface, where they find the now unconscious Midler, whose face we never actually see in the anime. But apparently she's a playable character in one of the many games that were made based on the anime. I forget which one. I'm not going to count that here because I don't know what she looks like. You guys don't know what she looks like, so I'm not going to picture her here. But they do escape to the surface. They find her lying unconscious with all of her teeth busted out, and Polnareff just decides that she might be attractive, but the teeth are a turn-off for him because it's Polnareff. But yeah, with that, they've made it to Egypt, and then we get a recap of their entire journey up to this point, where we've defeated a bunch of stands along the way and have officially made it to Egypt. And now all that's left is to find Dio. But Dio is aware that they're there, as we see in a side, and has actually begun attacking Speedwagon Foundation people to try and keep a low profile, because he doesn't want anybody knowing where he is. So he's trying to keep his comings and goings a secret from the Speedwagon Foundation, using some other stands that he has access to now. So yeah, Dio has still been growing his army steadily since Jotaro and Joseph and all the others have made their way to Egypt. But it is interesting to know that he does know they're coming, because he can sense them. And also, he refers to the body half of him as Jonathan, because, yeah, it makes sense, but it's a little creepy. But yeah, they've officially made it to Egypt, and then Joseph calls Susie to let her know what's up, and she even asks to speak to Jojo, and gives him some much-needed advice, which is that she knows that if the Joestar men stick together, they can accomplish anything. At which point they hang up. At which point he hangs up after thanking her for the advice, and they go on their merry way. But she also points out that she realizes that the Joestar Group is pretty thick as thieves, and they will eventually get through it no matter what. And the family has kind of always been that way, and always will be that way. So yeah, and also she implies that she may be going to visit Holy despite being told not to. So that's gonna be a problem. But yeah, with that, now it's time for season 2 of part 3, which yeah, the anime scheduling wise is weird. They split they combined the first 2 parts into 1 season, and then they split the 3rd one up into 2 seasons. So, yeah, the anime is very weird that way. But I get it. It makes sense, because if not, it would be 48 episodes apparently. But yeah, I understand that. I understand why they split it up into 2 seasons. But at the same time, that means there's a new season now. So yay. But yeah, with that, the Egypt arc is now about to start, and that's going to be interesting. And also, there's a lot of episodes that are multiple parts, so that's going to be fun to review. But yeah, with that, the group has made it to Egypt. They're there. They did it. The show's almost over. Really. I mean, there's also part 4, 5, and 6, but we'll get to those when they come out. Part 6 just particularly in that case, because it hasn't come out yet. But yeah, now it's just a matter of finding Dio and defeating the many assassins that come their way as they try to track him down. But Egypt isn't very big, so they'll probably find him fairly quickly. Because there aren't many places where Dio can be hiding out in Egypt. As the episode explains, most cities are along the Nile River, so all they have to do is follow the Nile River up and down until they find him, and eventually they'll find him. But yeah, that's it. That's the end of the season. There's going to be a new season. I'm going to review it next week. But for right now, gonna leave this episode here. So if you guys did indeed enjoy this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and my review of it, then what did you guys think? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below, or over on my Discord server, link in the description. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter in the description below. And also check out my Patreon in the description below as well. It's only a couple bucks a month, and it really helps me out, so I would definitely appreciate it if you did that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!